Hey guys, what's up? Got a vinyl in today, so let's get into it. Put some outer cardboard out around it, so that's always nice for the extra security. And we have from Zeta, Austin, Texas, July 26, 2023, live at the Parish. So, I got a bit of an interesting story to tell, so if you want, you can kind of have a seat and pretend to be entertained, but I consider seeing Zeta to be one of the most important shows that I've seen. So they're opening for another band that I've kept up with for a really long time, since I was a teenager, called Sparta. Got the poster up there, so I see a big old 2023. So in memory, it was in July too, so it had been within a few days of the recording of this that I saw them anyway. But yeah, they're opening for Sparta, and at the time I went to that show, I had a very closed-minded view on music. You know, it's been a long time since I've found any bands that I was, new bands that I really thought were interesting. So, I kind of had that mindset that, if I'm seeing, a headliner band that I like, opening bands are kind of something that I have to endure. I see them more to secure my spot towards the front of the stage if it's a standing show than to, actually enjoy it. But, it was such a great fucking show. So Zeta is kind of like a mix of, post-hardcore, progressive rock, traditional Latin music, because they come from Venezuela, and yeah, they're just really cool and fresh. And then in addition to that, there was another really cool local band that was opening there called Glistener. So two opening bands that I really ended up enjoying. And then through Glistener, that kind of got me through the rabbit hole of what I call rediscovering the local music scene, because there were a few local bands that I kept up with back when I was a teenager, late 2000s. I came from the conservative household that, not only that, but it's also a good long ways from Pensacola, which is kind of the closest city that had a cool music scene. There are a few odd venues here and there. I remember there was a coffee shop. I went to a few shows that was a little bit closer. But anyway, yeah, and back in those days, I had to beg my mom to take me out to those shows, since she's, all conservative and religious back then. But it was funny because, most of the venues during that time were church owned, and a lot of the bands were either Christian or pretending to be Christian, and that was both local and touring. And then, I kind of realized that wasn't just a local phenomenon. That there were a bunch of church-owned venues all over the place, and a lot of bands that were just kind of saying that they were Christian because they wanted to get into these. Oh shit, my washing machine's going crazy. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Never mind. But anyway, but yeah, a lot of bigger touring acts, saying they're Christian to get into all these church venues. And now that that's kind of faded away, a lot of bands are coming out and saying that they were never Christian to begin with. And that whole phenomenon just always fascinated me. So yeah, sorry I kind of went on a rabbit trail, but like I said, those kind of details just interest me. So it's still in the plastic. I see no reason to keep it on, so I'll take it out just to kind of get rid of that glare on it. Got some lyrics on the back, so that's always cool, even though Still not gonna really understand them. Yeah, one thing about Zeta is their live show and studio recordings can be really drastically different. I was kind of craving that live sound from them, and I remembered they put out this album that I never got around to picking up, so did a bit of internet searching, found a reasonable deal on it, so I got it now. Pretty fucking cool. So yeah, got one more thing on the way right now. Tomorrow's Sunday, so obviously not coming then. And in general, I do stuff the day after it comes usually, so probably end up being Tuesday that I do my next video. And yeah, then there's Glistener-Ween in a couple weeks, so looking forward to that for some live fish. Yeah, I'll see y'all then.